Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Life as a Freight Dog series. My name's Joe. I'm a retired flight dispatcher for a major airline in North America, and today, well, there was a bit of a surprise after the last episode. As you remember, we landed in Torreon, and we were just expecting to go to the hotel and jump in the swimming pool. But as soon as I got off the plane, there was a guy in a suit standing there with a sign with my name on it, and he was a representative of the company telling me I had to jump on the next Aeromexico flight and fly back down to Mexico City. It seems like one of the pilots that was supposed to go up to Monterey booked off sick, so I am now flying from Mexico City to Monterey and back for today. I've pre-flighted our 737, so we're pretty much ready to go. The right seat's open. Come along with me. Just doing the final checks. I've got my takeoff performance already set, so I'm just finalizing everything. 143 for the V2 speed, arming RTO, and we are good to do our checklist, or before start checklist. Before start checklist, to the line, flight deck preparations are completed, gear logbook and gear pins are on board, oxygen and interphone has been checked, yaw damper is on. Let's go up and look at everything here. Yaw damper's on, IRS is in nav. Fuel, we have 12.9, we are cleared with 12.5, and we have 4 pumps on. Galley power is on. Just throw the APU on the buses here, so we can disconnect the ground power. Passenger signs aren't required. Our window heat is on. Hydraulics are normal. Air conditioning and pressurization. We got packs on auto, and APU bleed is now on. Autopilot is disengaged. Instruments are set. Auto brake is RTO. Speed brake is down. detent. Parking brake is set. Stabilizer cutout switches are normal. Wheel well fire warning has been checked. Radio transponder and radar is set, and rudder and aileron trim free and zero, and departure briefing has already been completed. So let's get better pushback ready to go here. We're experimenting with a little bit of a shorter episode this time around. But if you preferred the longer episode, please do let me know in the comments.
To cockpit, can knowledge. Coming through the menu when you are ready.
And we are definitely ready, so let's get going.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
And before start checklist, below the line. Documents are not required. FMC CDU is set. N1 and airspeed bugs are set. Doors and windows are closed and locked. And our anti-collision light is on, and transponder, because we do have to taxi transponder on, is on. TIRA. We're just waiting for the pushback truck. So yeah, it was a little bit of a shame we didn't get to spend time in the pool. 3032. So yeah, it was a little bit of a shame we didn't get to spend time in the pool up in Torreon or visit any of the family.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Perfect. But, duty calls, and the world of moving cat food and Coke Zero waits for no man, so back down to Mexico we came, and straight over to this plane, and here we go. Get some lighting going here. Maybe you guys will be able to see everything a little bit better if I turn on the panel lights.
Tow connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Parking brake is released, clear to push.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alrighty, here we go. Packs are off. Start number 2. Gotta love that rumble of that engine starting up. Okay, we got oil pressure, we got N1. Waiting for max motoring. 24.8, 24.9. Fuel on, we light off. %. Starter cutout. And stable on 2. Let's start 1. Low pressure. N1. And max motoring. Light off. %. Starter cutout. And stable on number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake is set, clear to disconnect.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
And just doing the after start flows here. Alright, and let's do that after start checklist. Electrical, we got generators on, hydraulics are normal, probe heat is on, anti-ice is off, air conditioning and pressurization is packs on set. APU is off, start levers are in the idle detent, and that's the after start checklist completed. And I'm going to taxi down to the end of the runway, and I will see you all when we get there.
Disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. And signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Yeah, so I'll get us down to the button of the runway, and I'll talk to you in a sec. Okay, so we're down at the end of the runway, and we're next to go, so let's do the before takeoff checklist. Flaps 5, we got 5 planned, 5 indicating, green light, and detent. Except we don't have flaps 5, see, that's why we do checklists. Flaps 5, now we go. Alright, flaps 5, 5 planned, 5 indicating, green light and detent. Flight controls have been checked, trim has been set, takeoff data is checked, and we're going to set LNAV and VNAV as we normally would. And recall is checked, and now we're about to pull on the runway, so let's get everything rolling here. Alright, clear for takeoff, flaps 5, 5 set, auto throttle is armed. Cabin notifications not required, engine start switches are continuous. Transponder is TARA. Let's do this.
Approaching 0 on runway 05 left.
It appears that Traffic Global doesn't know what it's doing today. We got people taking off on one runway and taking off on the reciprocal. Yeah. I wonder when this Delta guy's gonna hit Toga. Like, look at that. Well, let's just pretend that we don't see any of this, because, yeah, this is a little bit crazy. And no, this has nothing to do with Mexico Air Traffic Control. This is entirely Just Flight's Traffic Global. And it is a well-known issue with this add-on. But still, it's kind of cool to watch, I guess. Planes taking off and landing on the same runways. In opposite directions.
On runway 05 left.
Yeah.
On runway 05 left.
Raz doesn't quite like that we're just sitting here, but oh well. Hope this A320 is able to get off before. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. Yes, we are hopeful there will be a V2 of this add-on that's going to address some of these issues. Maybe make it so you can lock in a runway config and not just have each plane do whatever they want to do. Like having BizJets do touch and goes. It's crazy. Ooh, that add-on. That model doesn't look very good. Yeah. Alright, hopefully this Delta guy's gonna go and then we're going. There we go. Looks like he's about to roll. Or not. Alright, well, tell you what. These Coke Zeros and these cat treats need to get to Monterey. Let's just go. Yeah. Not exactly the most real-world thing, but neither is what we just saw on this runway. So we'll just pretend this Delta guy isn't there, and let's do this. Alright, we got thrust stabilized. Toga. And thrust is set. And if anyone from Just Flight is watching this, please fix this Traffic Global issue, because otherwise it's a really nice add-on. And pretending we don't see this... Hey look, magic. There we go.
Positive rate.
Gear up. LNAV. ENAV speed. Climb thrust. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Okay, time for the after takeoff checklist. We got air conditioning and pressurization is set, APU is off. Engine start switches will turn off. It's hard to do checklists and handplay at the same time, but, you know, won't get better at it if we don't do it regularly. Okay, so landing gear is up, and now it's off. Flaps up, no lights, and auto brake is off. That's the after takeoff checklist completed. Let's correct a little bit here. Alright, I'm going to toss the autopilot on. Command A. And unless something eventful happens, I will see you guys at top of descent into Monterey, Mexico. Talk to you in a bit. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We are just on our almost final descent. We're on an extended extended downwind to runway 10 in Monterey, which you can see just off the wing here. Wow. Excuse me, a little dusty in here. Capital doesn't pay very much for cleaning, that's for sure. Anyway, there's the airport, there's the city of Monterey, and some really beautiful mountains and hills around. It's going to be quite fun. So we are doing an RNP approach onto runway 10. The ILS is for the other side. Normally winds are out of the north, but today they're quite strong out of the south, actually. So this will be a little bit interesting. I've never landed on this runway going this direction before, so we'll see. I've verified the waypoints and altitudes already. And it's just about time to do the approach checklist. So we got altimeters 2997, that's set and cross-checked, and cabin notifications not required, because we're a freighter. So that is, that's that checklist complete. So it's been a very smooth flight so far, really nothing much to talk about. Yeah, some pretty beautiful views I got for you, and I hope you guys enjoy that. So we're going to be landing in Monterey in probably about 8 to 10 minutes, and then once we're on the ground, then that'll be the end of this episode, and then the crew and I will be flying it back down to Mexico City, and we'll see where the next episode takes us. I've heard rumors that we might be being upgraded to a widebody. You know, Capital moves pilots around fairly regularly just because we're a small airline and, well, we're cheap, you know? So, most of us have multiple type ratings. So I've heard that we might be moving over to a wide body. Maybe we'll go to Europe. Maybe we'll end up in Anchorage flying the MD-11 over to Asia. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. In the meanwhile, though, let's just head on down into Monterey and focus on what we're doing. Getting the speed brakes out a little bit here. We have ended up a little bit high. I think the VNAV path kind of got a little bit confused there. Anyway, we're slowing down and we're going down, so a little bit of help never hurts. We'll just double check, yeah, 136 now for the VREF. Flaps 40 landing, auto brake 3. Pretty standard for me. Especially when these planes are pretty full, that flaps 40 really can help you with your tail strike margin on the 737. Just keep going down and catch that VNAV path there. And that's 10,000 feet. Really beautiful up in this part of the country. You know, we're not that far away from Torreon, actually. We're maybe a 20-minute flight if we were to go there from Monterey. But, you know, it's really neat seeing the difference in the climate here, where it's so much more green and so much less deserty like it was out in Torreon. Unfortunately, we don't have flights between Monterey and Torreon, so if I want to go back to Torreon, I gotta go back down through Mexico City. But, we just did that, so we'll see what happens. If we're not getting upgraded to a wide body this week or next week, then maybe we'll explore more of Mexico, maybe go over to Guadalajara, or down to Oaxaca, or out to Cancun, maybe. Yeah, we'll see what happens. The airline did just change the schedule up a bit, so a lot of the flights that we used to have are now gone, and they've added in some new ones to new places, so that's kind of cool. It's always nice to be part of an airline that's moving and chasing that dollar bill, you know? Trying to stay profitable. Because, you know, Coke Zero and cat treats and cat food don't pay that much of a premium to fly. Yeah, I don't quite like being this high, so let's keep those speed brakes out for a bit. Hopefully we can get this dealt with here. Yeah, well, if we have to, we'll go around and try it again. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Always like to land it on the first try, but, you know, better to land safely than to land on the first try. Let's go flaps 5. And let's get the gear down for good measure, get some more drag going here. There we go. Now we're cooking. Let's catch this path. Put the spoilers back in. Don't want to accidentally leave them out if we end up getting some power back on the airplane. In fact, I'll arm them right now. There we go. And now we're arming back to VNAV path. No approach mode on these RPs. Check.
2500.
Yeah, let's go flaps 15. A little bit bumpy, getting those wind gusts. There we go. And let's open up the speed window here. And let's set landing flaps and go VREF. Oh, it's a little gusty, so let's just do VREF plus, 9 or 10, 146, see what happens. Leave it here for now. Now we're looking better. Some very gusty and shifty winds here today. And let's kill the auto throttle here. Auto throttle disengaged.
1000.
Okay. 1,000 feet, we are stabilized.
Mr. Perch altitude set.
Thank you, Mr. Co-Pilot. Unfortunately, if we weren't stabilized, he'd still say that. And obviously, the Mr. Approach altitude isn't set. Mr. Approach altitude's 6,000 feet. Oh, let's turn off the autopilot. Yeah. 6,000 feet for the Mr. Approach altitude if we do need to do that. But if you're in the Zibbo and you're doing VNAV, it will not let you descend through your altitude window. So you gotta lower it down, otherwise you'll level off. Yeah, come on. I'm just gonna concentrate on landing for a bit. A little bit low. Let's correct. But not too much, because we don't want to pop up too much. There we go. That's a little better. There we go. Wind stabilized out a little bit.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
There we go. Rear screen. Yeah, obviously the altimeter changed a little bit since we were on that downwind.
80 knots.
There we go. And we'll disarm the auto brake. Well, that was fun. Let's say a very warm welcome to Monterey, Mexico. Get that APU going here. It's 30 degrees, so we are going to want that air conditioning as soon as we shut these engines down. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't like to drink warm Coke. And we'll pull off here. Well, folks, I hope you'll let me know down in the comments if you liked this different version of the format. Hopefully this will end up being quite a bit shorter than the last one. So you'll have to let me know if you prefer this or you prefer the way the last video was done, going through most of the flight. Yeah, and I hope the audio quality is a little bit better. I did get a new microphone, so you have to let me know if it sounds better or if there's any other changes I should be making here. Again, thanks very much for coming with me, and we'll see you next time, he says, as if he still doesn't have to taxi all the way to the cargo ramp. Make this turn, then we'll fix our lighting and get the APU on bus, assuming it's started up well. Someone's flying a 172. That doesn't sound very fun in these winds. But I guess if you're going to learn how to fly, you got to learn how to fly in all weather. And APU on bus. Do our after landing checklist. Double check this. Trim, not too bad. Okay, stab trims reset, flaps are up, no lights, speed brake is down, D10 auto brake is off, transponder radar is on, probe heat. Oh, let's do the probe heat. We can turn off the probe heat. Of course, the probe heats here are automatic on this newer version of the 737-800, so they'll turn off automatically at that point. But either way, probe heats are auto, start switches are off, APU is started and on buses, and that's the after landing checklist completed. So now we'll just taxi over to the cargo ramp. I'll see you there. Okay, we are just coming up to the cargo ramp here. Making a left turn on Alpha 2 and into the cargo ramp. Here we go. Oh, X-plane ground traffic, how you amuse me. Okay. And of course, we don't pay for marshalers at this airport either, so do the best we can. There we go. All right, let's shut her on down here. Make sure we don't melt. Okay, parking checklist. Parking brake is set, start levers are cut off, transponders stand by. Anti-collision light is off, fasten seatbelts not required, air conditioning is on, electric hydraulic pumps are off, anti-ice is off, window heat is on, IRS selectors are on. And that's the parking checklist complete. Okay, folks, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought. Meanwhile, Skippy the first officer and I have to fly back off to Mexico City. So thanks very much for coming along with us. It was our pleasure having you on board. And again, I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what you thought down in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.